Carl Jung spent 40 years studying patience. What he discovered sounds crazy, but it's actually a psychological law. People who acted like life was on their side had completely different outcomes than those who acted like life was against them. Not because of positive thinking or wishful thinking, but because our minds create what they deeply expect. And reality has a scary way of proving our hidden beliefs right. Here's what's frightening. You're already acting like certain things are true about life, and life is responding exactly how you unconsciously expect it to. The question isn't whether to act as if you're already doing it. The real question is, are you acting like everything works against you, or like everything works for you? That unconscious choice is shaping your reality more than any decision you've ever made consciously. Jung believed this principle could completely reorganize your life, not through wishful thinking, but by understanding how the mind pulls experiences toward it that match its deepest expectations. Jung's breakthrough discovery. Jung observed something that changed everything. Two patients had identical problems, but they had opposite outcomes. Why? Because of one difference, our unconscious belief about how life treats them. The person who deeply believed life supported them found solutions everywhere. The person who believed life opposed them found obstacles everywhere. Same reality, completely different experiences. All is determined by their psychological stance toward life. This wasn't about being optimistic or pessimistic. Jung was looking at something deeper, the mind's fundamental attitude toward existence. Some people unconsciously believe life is hostile. Those things won't work out. They have to fight for everything. Others unconsciously believe life is supportive. Those things tend to work out, that they're somehow held by existence. Here's the disturbing part. Both groups find endless proof for their belief. The person who acts like life is against them encounters hostility, obstacles, betrayal, exactly as expected. The person who acts like life supports them encounters opportunity, meaningful coincidences, and help exactly as expected. It's like the mind creates a magnetic field that attracts experiences matching its core belief. Jung called this psychological constellation. How our deepest beliefs about reality attract experiences that confirm those beliefs. You're not finding evidence for how life really is. You're creating evidence for what you already believe. Your unconscious assumption becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that feels like absolute truth. But here's Jung's breakthrough. You can change your unconscious assumption, not through positive affirmations, but through what he called acting as if, consciously behaving from a different assumption until your mind reorganizes around it. The 5 psychological mechanisms. First, you become a synchronicity magnet. When you act like everything works out, you dramatically increase meaningful coincidences. Those moments when reality seems to conspire to help you. Not because you're manifesting anything, but because you're finally psychologically available to notice support that was always there. When you act like life works against you, your mind is in defensive mode, scanning for threats, expecting problems, bracing for impact. This defensive stance makes you blind to opportunities, deaf to help, unable to recognize synchronicities, even when they're obvious. But when you act like everything works out, your mind shifts to receptive mode, scanning for opportunities, expecting solutions, open to assistance. Suddenly, synchronicities multiply. The right person appears, the perfect book falls off the shelf, the resources you need show up. Jung had a patient who believed life was against her. She complained about never catching breaks, never meeting helpful people, and never finding opportunities. Jung suggested an experiment. For 1 month, act as if life were trying to help her. Do not believe it, act as if it were true. Within a week, she reported multiple synchronicities. A stranger mentioned exactly the job opportunity she needed. A random book contained the solution to a year-old problem. An old friend called with precisely the connection she required. Second, The transcendent function activates. This is your mind's ability to find third options beyond either-or dilemmas. When you assume solutions exist, your unconscious creates them from possibilities your conscious mind can't see. Most people face problems assuming scarcity. Either this or that. Win or lose. Success or failure. But when you act like everything works out, you assume an abundance of possibilities. There must be a solution even if you can't see it. This activates what Jung called the transcendent function. It creates solutions beyond the apparent either-or. Not choosing between options, but transcending the limitation that created those options. Third, your shadow becomes your ally. The shadow, all your rejected aspects, either works against you or for you, depending on your fundamental assumption about life. If you act like life is against you, your shadow becomes your saboteur. Your repressed anger attacks opportunities. Your rejected power undermines success. But when you act like everything works out for you, your shadow becomes your secret ally. Your repressed anger becomes fuel for a breakthrough. Your rejected power emerges when needed. Jung discovered this through dream analysis. Patients who believed life opposed them had dreams of being chased, attacked, and undermined. Patients who believed life supported them had dreams of unexpected help, hidden resources, and mysterious allies. Fourth, participation mystique. Jung observed something that sounds mystical but was empirically real. Your psychological state doesn't just interpret reality, it participates in creating it. When someone genuinely shifted their fundamental assumption about life, the world around them shifted too. Not just their experience of the world, the actual behaviors of people, the timing of events, the emergence of opportunities. Your mind isn't separate from the world, observing it. It's part of the world, creating it. When you act like everything works out, you broadcast a psychological frequency that others unconsciously respond to. People unconsciously want to help those who expect help. Fifth, individuation accelerates. When you assume life supports your becoming, you take risks authentic to your nature. When you assume life opposes you, you stay safely false. If you believe everything works out, you'll follow your genuine interests, even if unconventional. You'll express your authentic self, even if different. But if you believe life works against you, you'll choose safety over authenticity every time. You'll hide your true self to avoid attack. The 1-week experiment. Try Jung's experiment for 1 week. Approach everything as if life is trying to help you. That problem? Assume it contains a gift. That obstacle? Assume it's redirecting you somewhere better. That rejection? Assume it's protection from something not meant for you. Not fake positivity. Genuine assumption that life is on your side. Notice what happens. Synchronicities will multiply. Solutions will emerge. People will help unexpectedly. Not because you're forcing anything, but because you're finally available to support that was always there. You've been acting as if something is true your whole life. If you've been acting as if life opposes you, you have years of evidence confirming it. But that evidence isn't proof of reality. It's proof of the power of assumption. Change the assumption, and the evidence changes too. Act as if everything always works out for you. Not because it's true, but because acting as if makes it true. Remember, you're already acting as if something is true about life. Ensure you're acting in a way that serves you rather than sabotaging you. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe, not just for more content, but to join a growing space where truth, healing, and self-discovery matter. This is Psyche Thera, and your journey is just beginning.